Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So this is going to be a follow-up video on the Aster token. I think I made a pretty big review on it, and now I'm making a follow-up video on its price, and I was analyzing something else as well, so I thought why not share it with you guys. Anyways, let's get started. So now the token has been doing really well. It had a massive correction after hitting like $2. After that it went as low as 1.28, and after that it made a new all-time high. So this clearly shows that the token is highly volatile, and it may be like aiming to hit a new all-time high again. Who knows? That is a possibility, but we'll talk about that at the end. Now, if we look at some other perpetual tokens, if you don't know what the Aster is, it is like a decentralized uh, derivative exchange, you can see here, and it has a massive volume. And because of that, the token is most likely surging as well. Now, if we look at some other tokens that are similar in nature, we have like AVNT, which is also a newly launched token. And there is another MYX Finance, which is like basically perpetual exchange but on the BNB, same as Aster, but AVNT is available on the base. And in terms of like how they have been performing, both of them, they are doing really well. So AVNT is most likely following the Aster, and I think it can be seen in their price action as well. And both of them like have a massive like volume. AVNT has a volume of like 1.3 billion and Aster has over 2 billion. Of course, the market cap is much bigger for the Aster, so that I think explains the reason why. Now, if we compare the Binance Smart Chain as well as like Ethereum as well as Solana and Base, if we compare their let's say that if we compare their derivative volume or their perpetual volume, that is where you will see the difference. So if we look at BNB, or Binance Smart Chain, it has like the volume of like 585 million. In terms of ETH, it's at 392 recently, and in terms of Solana, it is much higher. It is above 1 billion, and in terms of the base is of like around 1 billion, as you can see here. Now, if we look at the tokens that are doing really well as of now, most of them are like Aster. We have AVNT, which is on the base, and there is also Drift as well, which is on the Solana, and they also have their own like perpetual as well. And because of that, most of the tokens that are as of now surging do have a lot of volume. Even if you look at their chain, they do have a lot of volume. But the thing that is a little bit that I don't understand would be that, okay, so we do have OPBNB, which like the Aster supports as well. So let's just try to look at perpetual volume there as well in case we missed anything. So again, as of now, it seems like that Aster is going up based on the volume on like Binance Smart Chain. Of course, it is also a spot exchange as well. So I think the reason why they are doing really well is because the volume is really high, and it seems like that the most of the volume on the Binance Smart Chain is coming from the Aster, and I think that is the reason why the token has been so bullish. So that could be the reason. Anyways, but again, the volume is not that as big as Solana or even as big as Base. Again, we can understand that AVNT is on the base and it is going up because the base has a massive perpetual volume. But again, if you look at the Solana, the biggest one would be the Drift, that I think is like pretty big like derivatives. There is also JOP, but I think the Drift is still the biggest one. And in terms of their volume, it's up there, and the Drift is surging, I think because of that most likely. Now again, I'm still not sure why Aster has a market cap of like 3.5 billion and AVNT only has a market cap of like around 500 million. Again, this could be because like BNB has a lot of users. They are actually a lot bigger than the base itself, so that could be the reason that I'm looking at. But overall, in terms of like volume, the volume is still higher on the base, so I guess that's it. Anyways, I just want to cover that point because that is a main thing that you should know if you're planning to trade this token. Now, in terms of its listing, the token has yet to be listed on big exchanges. So again, if like Binance announces the listing Or even let's say if we do see another big listing, Aster could basically go, I would say, as high as $4 or even higher than that. But as of now, it's not available on the Binance. It's available on the Bybit Get.io, but it's not available on the Binance. So that is something you should know. Now the token continues to go up. So as of now, I think we are expecting a retest on this trend line. So if it can retest and if it can hold this trend line, we could be looking for a new all-time high. That is what I'm looking at, because this is a pretty good uptrend, and if it continues, we could be looking at a new all-time high. If not, I think it can go as low as 1.6 again, or it can go as low as 1.81. That is another entry that I would be looking at if I were to buy this token, which I'm not. So I just want to share that as well. But again, this support is still, I would say, a really good one. So if it can hold this level, we may see a new all-time high again. I think that is what it is aiming for. Let's see what happens. Again, it has a massive volume. So if you look at its volume, it is like up there. It is like 2.5 billion, which is a lot. And I think the future of the perpetual may be available on the Binance, of course. So the future is also available on the Binance. So I would say that's really good for them as well. So they are like, they have a lot of volume because of that. Now if it does go down, I would be looking at this level next, so which is going to be somewhere around 1.66 to 1.62, or even it may basically go like 1.81 to 1.62. That is the next line of support, I would say, if it does breaks below this 1.95. But again, I think it should go for a new all-time high after hitting this trend line. So that is also what I'm looking at, because it seems like that we don't have that many seller in the market, and the token itself is like looking really good in terms of, I would say, its chart. Again, I think overall it does depend on their announcement as well. They have been announcing a lot of things recently, so let's see how long they can basically push this momentum. So if this momentum continues to happen, I think new all-time high is inevitable. And if it doesn't, if it does go up, let's say with a slightly less volume, or we may see it reject somewhere around 2.5 as well. So that is a possibility as well. But again, if it can hit like, let's say, 6 billion or even 5 billion, I think like $3 or $4 is easy gain for this token as of now. Again, overall it's looking really well, and I'm looking at these corrections. Again, if the things do go wrong for the token, I think the last support that it is going to have is going to be somewhere on 1.28 as well. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will be back with more. Thank you.